Now, I've asked you a question before in the hot chair a while ago regarding having many physical extensions at the same time, like me being in another physical human form as I also sit here. How does those personalities relate? Is it just different focus points with each physical extension?
That's a good way of saying it, but it all adds to the whole. And so let's say, just for sake of awkward analogy, that you are a personality of source and that there are 10 of you focused physically in any moment in time in this earth space, leading edge time-space reality. And let's say that this one, which you are wanting to identify as the personality of you, is tuned in. You're going general, you're finding your grid, you live in mostly appreciation and love, you explore contrast, but you're quick to return there. You have allowed the personality of the source within you, so you feel really, really good most of the time. You feel like the source within you feels, so you're uplifted and happy and funny and your timing is good and you feel good. So in tuning in to the source within you, you have access to all of the knowledge that every other aspect of you is gleaning at any point in time. Only instead of 10, there are more than we can count. Because you have been consciousness and you've been focused and you are eternal. In other words, there is so much more. To try to define the other probabilities who are physically focused is really stepping back. Just go general and acknowledge that I'm way more than I know, and the better I feel, the more of that I know. Which means in my focus now, you see, sometimes that can be overwhelming. You think you've got a lot to do now. What we just told you might make you crazy. If you think you've got all that to keep track of too, but you don't have to keep track of all of that. All you have to do is stay central to your well-being, and then you receive the benefit of all of that. There's so much more of that going on than you even realize. That's why have you seen, most of you are driving in quite elaborate traffic. And it's very rare that you bump into one another because you're driving so much more from your broader personality than you realize. You see, there's so much of the well-being that surrounds you that is being focused from that broader perspective. You're really honing out the new details more than anything. We have not seen one of you, and we've watched all of you, and we've watched all of you for a very long time. We've watched all of you since the beginning of that which all of you believe that you are. And we've not seen one of you put on your things to do today list, keep the sun coming up every day. It's just something that is being tended to from another level of perspective, you see. The earth spinning in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets, the seeds coming forth. In other words, the maintenance of this magnificent time-space reality. We can't even begin to describe to you all of the consciousness and all of the energies and all of the forces and all of the well-being and all of the goodness that is focused here for you on this leading edge. And don't you want to stop squandering it by worrying about what the neighbors are doing? Don't you? Don't you? Don't you want to just get into that grid of well-being, and don't you want to allow the well-being that is truly who you are to flow? Don't you want to experience the fullness of all that you've become? And don't you want to be in on the conscious expansion from here into the next? You see, that's where your satisfaction comes from. It comes from life causing you to ask for something that you're not a vibrational match to, and then finding the vibrational essence of it and preparing the grid for it, and then allowing all universal forces to fill in that grid. That is the best description of law of attraction that we've ever offered.